Okay. Right on top of this, rate, I guess. No, ratio. Ratio. Ratio first. And as the book defines it straight out of the book, a ratio is, the book calls it a relationship between numbers. Relationship between numbers. For example, this one's going to be stunning and knock you off of your feet. The ratio of boys to girls in 6th grade is, what is it, you know?
18 and 12.
18 boys?
Yep.
18 to 12. Okay. Here is 18 to 12 is the ratio. 18 to 12 is the ratio. And there are 3 different ways that you can show that ratio. You can write it out like I did here, 18 to 12. Or, instead of using the word to, you can put a colon there, 18 to 12. Or the most common thing we do is we make it a fraction, 18 to 12. And then we'd actually reduce that fraction. Actually reduce all of those, which reduced would be what?
1/2.
No, 6 goes in there. 3 to 2, right? 3 to 2. 3. You poor girls. If there's 3 boys for every 2 girls, oh, how do you guys survive? Anybody? How do you do it? Okay, so now here's an important thing to remember, ladies and gentlemen. This is where most people go wrong. Order in the course. No, order is important. And by that, I mean this. The ratio of boys to girls. Boys came first, girls came second. Boys comes first in the numbers, girls come second in the number. Boys goes on top, girls goes on bottom. You have to do that ratio. You have to keep it in that order. The first one given goes, the first number given goes with the first word given, second number, second word, because you will be given a problem that looks like this. The ratio, a team lost 3 games and won 7 games. A team lost 3 games and won 7 games. Now I can ask you a whole bunch of different questions about this. Here's question number 1. What is the ratio of wins to losses? Question mark. Like I said, anytime they ask you this, unless they want you to do it differently, you're going to do it in fraction form. So here is what you have to think, young children. I said order is important. Wins to losses must be made in a fraction with wins on top and losses on the bottom. Okay? So how many games were won was 7, and how many games lost were 3. And you are allowed to keep it as an improper fraction. Matter of fact, it has to stay as an improper fraction, and it needs to be reduced, and that one is. Another question I could ask you is, I could ask you, what is the ratio what is the ratio of losses to wins? In which case, what would be the ratio of losses to wins? It's the same thing except it's flipped over because the first one given here is loss and the second one is wins. So you end up with 3-7. And then just to throw you for a loop, let me ask you one more question. What would be the ratio of wins to games played? What would be the ratio of wins to games played? You may have to do a little bit of work there, but you should be able to get it. How many wins were there and how many games were played would be, Lilia?
7 to 10.
Yeah. 7 to 10. 7 wins, 10 games played. Did you get the gist of the whole ratio thing there? Your question, Ephraim?
On the one
Yep, keep going. Gotcha.
by the ratio, when you show the ways to write ratio, is the column mark between the 18 and the 12 multiplication?
No. Periods are little dots between them, but not colons. All right, and then under that same thing, actually probably a new piece of paper, just the same letter. Put the word rate, not ratio, but now just rate. Rate falls under this little category because it is a ratio that compares two measurements. And the examples they give in the book are these three. You know, speed is a unit of, is a rate because what two things, when somebody talks about their speed, what two numbers do they compare? If I asked you how fast you're going, you would say what, John?
60 miles per hour.
How many? 60 miles per hour. You are comparing how many miles to how many hours it takes you to do that. You could do speed in math. You could do problems per minute. You are comparing those two things. Another thing you do is, another one they said, another rate you could talk about is mileage. When you talk about the mileage of your car, what are you comparing? Mileage is given in,
Yeah.
no, how far you go, miles per
Gallon.
gallon. You're comparing how many miles to how many gallons. Or the other one they give is unit price. If you go into the store, you go into Jewel, probably any of them, you look at the little yellow tags down there, they give you a rate when you buy something like, say, a bowl or a box of cereal. They tell you what on that little yellow tag. You know what it is? Because your parents, when they go, they want to see what's the better deal. They want to know which one's more expensive or more cheap. Or most cheapest, the cheapest. Charlie, what would it be? Do you know?
Money per box?
Not per box usually, because boxes can be different sizes. It is money. It is money. How much it costs per. Anybody? Ever?
A unit?
Not unit. I mean, unit is one of, but one of what?
Item? Like
No. Well, sometimes, but items could be bigger or less than two. Sometimes you have big things. It's usually in,
ounces?
yeah, money per weight or ounces. Like one box will cost 10 cents per ounce, and another box might be 11 cents per ounce. You're comparing how much money it costs per how much it weighs. Let's see what question they ask you about this. So, here is question on this. It says that Jeremy rode 60 miles in 4 hours. Jeremy rode 60 miles in 4 hours. And it asks you, what was his average speed in miles per hour? What is average speed in miles per hour? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Now let's look at this. We want miles per hour. One thing you'll figure out in mathematico, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the word per in math, is a division sign, or it is a fraction line. You want miles per hour. Or you want to take how many miles he went and divide it by how many hours it took him to do it. Because you want to know how many miles he goes in 1 hour. When your parents say how fast they were driving, they don't say, well, I went 115 miles in 6 hours, because nobody looks at that. Well, I don't know if that's fast or slow, because I got to do all that math. You want to divide this out. Anybody know how many times 60 divided by 4 is, Ephraim?
15.
It is 15. And when we write miles per hour, rather than writing it in fraction form, rather than doing this, miles per 1 hour, how do we usually show it? Charlie?
MPH.
Yep, you do 15 mph. But what that really means is mile per 1 hour. He was going 15 miles per hour. Miles per hour. Yeah, I think that'll probably be fun and exciting. Don't you think?